What's up, guys? Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com, bringing you some more Alliance War footage. This time, my Alliance 4 Loki is going up against 4Play, and you can see here that I'm a bit hesitant on the champions that I want to bring in. I'm going to be sitting on this character select screen for just a moment here. I definitely want to bring in Iceman. I didn't know who I wanted to swap out to get Iceman in there. Kind of wanted to bring Vision in there still, but I also wanted to have Quake and Gwenpool, so figured, you know what? Let me just go in with these three. I'm trying to use Gwenpool a little bit more because when I take her to rank 4, she's going to be such a powerful champion. She's going to be hitting so hard that I'm pretty much going to have her in there for most wars. And I brought her in for this war also because I saw that the first node up was a science node. I took a little peek in here before I made my champion selection. And I was thinking, you know what, this is probably going to be an Electro. There's not too many other science champions that get used. It could still be like a Spider-Man or something like that, but Spider-Man, not such a big deal. Most people do still, I shouldn't even say most people, but I do still see a few Electros floating around. They're really not too bad though, as you can see here. They go down very quickly. Most of the damage that I'm taking is actually from the bleed node itself and my suicides. Electro drops in, 12 hits total? Not too big a deal at all. I really think that Electros, at the high end of Alliance War, they're really kind of losing their place for a defender. They're still good in the lower to middle tiers of Alliance War, but in the high end, most players have rank 4 or 5-star champions at this point. I still do not, but soon enough I will. All right, next node up. This node I normally see Magic or Nightcrawler. It's kind of a toss-up. It's kind of a coin flip on who I see. Occasionally I do see a different champion here. Sometimes I'll see like a Juggernaut or something like that too. But for the most part, it's Nightcrawler or Magic that I see. And I was kind of hoping that it'd be Nightcrawler. That's why I brought in Iceman here. And normally, if I'm not using Iceman, then I just try to parry the opponent and take them down that way. But because I have Iceman here, figured why not? Let me play the the SP1 game here, where as long as you hit them with the SP1, they cannot evade. But check this out. Watch the debuff timer on him. It just barely loses that debuff where he can evade again. And of course he evades my special and then slaps me around a bit. End up eating a bit of damage there. And now I have to go back to the just playing the parry game, which I don't mind, but it's just kind of annoying having messed up initially, where I would not have lost all that health. I would have lost a very minimal amount of health had I just played the parry game from the beginning, or if I did not mess up that special one, because really, that's my fault. I could have played better. I could have timed things out better, and I could have kept that debuff on him, whereas Nightcrawler would not be evading me. Alright, next node up here. This is the unblockable level 2 special node. And most frequently here I'm seeing Doctor Strange. I definitely do see Hood a fair amount as well, but it's usually one of those two champions. So I'd like to bring in Quake here just for that class advantage. If I cannot evade, then at least I'm not going to be taking as much damage. Technically you can evade Doctor Strange's special too. And you can evade the beginning of of Hood's special 2 as well, and as long as you're playing it skillfully enough, then you can get through here no problem. But at the same time, it's easier said than done, right? So yeah, I did just decide to go in here with Quake. Luckily, Doctor Strange cannot be a 5-star champion. I'm sorry about all this lag, by the way. This is not your connection. It happened when I was recording, apparently, where my my connection was lagging a little bit. So my actual gameplay when I was actually doing these fights was completely fine. Just the recording part of it was lagging. But in any case, you saw I got blasted by Doctor Strange's SP3, but not the biggest deal. I survived it and went on to finish out the fight. It's another one of those nodes where Doctor Strange, he's really not going to be too effective there for too much longer in the higher tiers, because once you have rank 4 5-star champions, then his specials, there's not going to be doing enough damage in a lot of cases. Alright, next node up here is a bleed node, and I wasn't sure what to expect here, but I just went in with my bleed immune champion, and it ends up being Howard the Duck. A lot of times this is Ultron. Ultron is probably the most common champion I see here. And either way, Ultron or Howard, they've got the class advantage against against Iceman, but I'm not too worried about class advantage in this case. Howard the Duck, I'm pretty good at fighting Howard the Ducks. There is one thing to note here, though. Check this out. First off, he has suicides, and the other thing is he's processing, and then watch my health just start to tick away. He put that debuff on me, and my health is just dropping. I didn't even realize it until I got down pretty low, and I looked up at my health bar. I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, that actually took a lot of damage. So yeah, I would have much preferred that Howard procced his healing instead of the damage when he was processing there. I ended up taking quite a bit of damage. Can't even be mad. It's Howard the Duck, man. Yeah, Ken, 118. Your Howard the Duck kind of wrecked me there. You can be proud of that. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Here's where I do something kind of stupid. You can see right above me that there is a Thorns node, and it's Cyclops. And I'm kind of hesitating here. I'm kind of thinking like, what do I want to do? Do I, I'm recording right now. I kind of want to just blast through the rest of this node here. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Kind of help out my teammates here. All right, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let me see if I could finish off this node. I'll just throw in Iceman because Iceman, he doesn't have. I'm not really going to be using him for the next node anyway, so maybe I can finish him off with this 3,600 life that I have left. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. Why would I think that this is enough life to get through a Thorns node? It is absolutely not enough life to get through this Thorns node, and I end up just kind of throwing my life away here. I realize that at this point I start to panic, and I'm like, oh god, what do I do? And yeah, I just get kicked in the face. That's what I do. Big mistake, and you'll even see here in the chat in just a moment here that my alliance mate Zagan21 was just letting me know that all he was doing was removing his suicide masteries. That's why he was hesitating. And yeah, he's in there kind of cleaning things up right now. Dumb move on my part, but you know what? I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't recording, but I was thinking like, oh, let me just get through here real quick so I can keep recording. I'll have to stop and start recording again for the next fight. But whatever, man. I won't make that mistake again. But yeah, we'll move on to the next node here, and this is the power gain node. Can't touch this. I just noticed the person in the alliance name there. I like your name there. Can't touch this. But yeah, I'm thinking, this is either going to be Magic or Hyperion, so I normally see. And Quake was a little bit low. I'm thinking maybe it's Hyperion. Let me go in with Gwenpool here. If it's Hyperion, then Gwenpool is actually a pretty decent option. But it ends up being Magic, and I'm thinking like, all right, well, I'm probably going to die here. I'm probably going to have to heal up my Quake after this. But let me just see how much damage I can do. And I'm actually doing, a good amount of damage. Of course, it's power gain node, so that Magic is gaining a lot of power. But you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm doing a lot of damage. I'm very happy that this is only a 4-star Magic and not a 5-star. Otherwise, I probably would be getting absolutely wrecked right now. But as it turns out, the bleeds really help here. And even though I only have rank 1 of Despair, just having these few debuffs on the opponent helped reduce the amount of healing that Magic was able to get from those limbos. And I actually end up finishing out the fight with Gwenpool. So, really made me happy for the future of Gwenpool, that even when it is going to be a rank 5, or I'm sorry, a 5-star Magic, as long as I can get my Gwenpool to rank 4, then, there's some serious potential there. So, that's going to do it for my portion of this war. The alliance that we were up against, 4Play, actually did end up beating us. It was not as a result of my stupid loss to Cyclops. I think, if I remember correctly, we only took down one boss this war, and they actually took down all 3 of ours. So, good job to 4Play, and yeah, your name kind of cracks me up there a little bit. But anyway, good job to you guys, and maybe we'll see you in a future war, and try to avenge our previous loss here. But in any case, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.